Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our project about criticism of capitalism. At the beginning of the video, please let me tell you what capitalism is. Capitalism is an economic system in which production facilities, like material goods used for production, are in private ownership of a ruling class, and economics is pursued in order to achieve profit. The most famous critic of such regime was Karl Marx. His most famous works are, for example, the Communist Manifesto, Economic and Philosophic Manuscripts, and the others. He became close with a factory owner's son, Friedrich Engels, whom he met in France. Later, Engels started to support him financially, and they wrote together the significant work called Capital, in which they both disapprove of the capitalistic economic system. The base of capitalism critics lies in the core. In this regime, there are two main classes. Bourgeoisie is a rich class which possesses production facilities, machines or factories, and proletariat, also known as workers' class. The latter serves as a source of labor force. Workers get minimum wage just to satisfy their basic needs, while the rest goes to the bourgeoisie. And so one class exploits another. Marx fundamentally disapproves of this regime and holds the equality among people. The process of labor force turning into goods or items is called commodification. Another problem was the commodity fetishism. People slowly stopped being aware of the original source of value of goods, which was people's work, and began to think about goods as items, which possess value just by existing. In a society where such false awareness spreads, concern of one class represents the concern of all. There are four phases of alienation. The first one is alienation from the product of work. People felt strange with the products they made. The second is alienation from the work as a productive activity, while according to Marx, the work was human substance. The third is alienation from the individual substance, and the last, the alienation from other people as well. Karl Marx didn't see another possible solution than a revolution. He held the view that it was necessary for the proletariat to revolt. The class work was inevitable, capitalists would be overthrown, and a classist society would be set in. Marx supposed the revolution would start in a developed industrial world in the West, like in England or Germany. Those two mentioned countries, however, only supported socialism, and the real revolution was held in Russia. Marx despised Tsarist regime, while at the same time was afraid of it being a possible counter-revolutionary threat. His ideas influenced the whole world. Philosophical ideological movement Marxism can be interpreted in many ways. That is where all its attractivity lies. Moderate socialists of the left can find themselves in it as well as disastrous regimes like Soviet Union or Khmer Rouge. The most known movements are communistic, a socialist conception of Marxism. Communistic Marxism has origin in the Communist Manifest, the principal work of Marx and Engels, which is nowadays considered as a Bible of communism. Its followers, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, together with Lov Trotsky, stood behind the fall of Tsarist regime in Russia and the inception of the Soviet Union. Much later, Stalin called the ideology Marxism-Leninism and chose it as the official theory of his empire and satellites. Also, Masaryk got inspiration from Marxism as well as Erich Fromm, who is considered as the traditional representative of neo-Marxism. The most famous philosopher today is Slavoj Žižek.
The nature of the capitalism has led to society's biggest problem of huge gaps of widening inequality that has to further worsening problems that are becoming repeatedly more difficult to solve. Today, 8 people own as much wealth as 50% of the global population of 7.4 billion. Actually, this perspective highlights economic inequality in the world today. Moreover, in increasingly unequal society may lead to higher levels of the other social problems within country or region such as obesity, teenage births, crime. These problems are also more experienced by the poorest people in an unequal society and are independent of the poverty. Inequality is indeed increasing almost everywhere in the post-industrial capitalist world.
As Czech Republic, it seems to be a very equal country with low poverty and inequality. However, the real situation is more complex as many citizens find themselves just close behind the poverty door. There are about 100,000 people living in social institutions, in various shelters or homeless, and this increased the number of poor significantly. Mostly of them are single parents. Here it shall be stated that in this category the Czech Republic stands on the top, especially regarding how much a single parent with 2 children has to work to lift him or herself and the children out of poverty. And this is connected to the very low minimum wage, that it means around 79 hours a week, which tops all the OECD countries. And also the statistics confirms that about half of the single seniors are very closely above the income poverty door. And the situation may be especially dramatic if we think about Prague, because the rents are high and there is a significant lack of social housing.
Money.
Money. You're looking for a job?
Yes. What's that?
A contract.
Job? Really?
Yeah.
But how much salary I will receive? I need job too much. That's not enough for me.
Yes.
My wife is hungry.
Do you have
My children is
Do you have
hungry.
other opportunities?
No.
Okay, sign.
But it's not enough
Sign.
for me. No. Money.
Sorry. Nasledany, no?
Naskrano.
Sign.
Money?
First sign. Dobrý den.
I'm Salomon Rochefeld, and this is my company and my industry, Capitalistic. We do the best coal and the best steel of the country. This is my workers, and I love them a lot. Is it good?
Yes, yes.
Hey, don't have the time to drink, okay? Walk more. Walk better, and faster. Hey, no camera, stop the time.
Hello, I finished my work and I work 10 hours and I have to
Hey,
receive
You didn't
1000
work 10
crown.
You didn't work 10 hours.
I work 10 hours.
You took a break, you smoke a cigarette, you
Break?
drank water.
But I need break time sometimes.
No. You're
I
here for
almost-
work, okay?
No.
So today it will be 400.
No, but you told me that it will be 1000 crown.
Don't what?
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
I used to have so nice flower shop, but now my flowers are dying because I haven't pure water. And look, they are dead. And I haven't enough money for my children and for all the stuff, and I don't know why. What happened?
Can you help me? I need medicine for my children. You cannot breathe. You cannot hear cough.
Why?
I don't know what's happening to this city.
But
The air is so
look at my
strange.
flowers. Look, it's dead. So I can't help you.
I need medicine for my children. He's dying. The air is strange in this city. What's happening?
Look there. I think it's his fault and his factory.
For centuries, Ostrava is known as a heavy industrial area. This fact affects environment and also health of the people. During the golden era of a city industry, the nickname Black City was on point because everything was covered by black dust from factories and pits. During the last century, and especially last 30 years, situation gets better, but still is the most populated area in Czech Republic. For example, almost 100 days of the year, the limit of pollution is exceeded and it's illegal. Air pollution harms citizens since the chilled era, and we can see lung and respiratory disease as one of the biggest killers in the region.
Dobry den, I'm Salomon Rochefeld. You know me because I'm the owner of Capitalistic. I gave so many jobs to this city and I'm always working to make it better. And as you can see, we have dead flowers. I think it's a problem of pollution and it's a problem for everyone. Everyone has to do an effort to do it better. As you can see, I'm promoting with citizens from Ostrava small business and flowers to make the pollution less problem. Hi, Maya.
Good morning.
Dobry den. And no. We got the flowers. You smile. Is it good?
And now we arrived to the end. Firstly, we learned that capitalism is an economic system in which production facilities are possessed by a rich ruling class called bourgeoisie, who wants to achieve maximum profit by exploitation of the workers' class called proletariat, who gets minimum wages and work more than 10 hours a day. As we can see, the inequality is significant. Bourgeoisie, capitalists, have capital. For them, it's easier to start to play the game than for someone who has nothing at the beginning. Without capital, you win by chance, you lose But if you lose, you'll probably die. There's almost no way how to start to play again. Once you start, you have to continue. You become dependent because without money, you're nothing in this world. It seems that this kind of inequality existed only 100 years ago, but we realize that it is also a big problem nowadays, even if we can't see it on the first sight. There are people who are extremely rich, on the other side, people who are extremely poor, which causes more and more society problems such as pollution, teen pregnancy, crime, addictions, or obesity. For Karl Marx, the only way how to solve the situation is the revolution and establishment of the classless society. What an idealistic thought! But we all know that it couldn't ever function like that. Why? Because we are people who live in liberty. People full of desires, needs, and consciousness of our own rights. Capitalism is sometimes like a dangerous game. But we have nothing better here. So come and play.